Hi, in this video we'll see how the care team can improve the patient engagement and medication adherence and remotely monitor their patients, thus reducing the need for frequent doctor office visits. So what we're going to see in this section are outreach and in-care applications. These are tools built especially for care coordinators and care managers to lessen their burden by acting at the patient or cohort level and improve outcomes and experiences for specific patients all at once. For example, this is the outreach application, and let's say the care coordinator wants to initiate a disease awareness campaign for patients on best practices for using smart inhalers. For this, the care coordinator can create a new campaign and choose a communication mode from the options below. Say for this case, the care coordinator selects email. Next, we can either select a cohort from a list like this or create a new custom cohort from scratch and then compose a message that is relevant only for this particular cohort. For example, in this case, this is a free training to teach the best practices of digital inhaler. Now, once we run the campaign, we can evaluate that how the campaign is doing and assess the real-time performance of the campaign by evaluating things like the number of patients engaged or not engaged, or say for example, the total cost of the campaign, the number of appointments, the number of visits generated, etc. Let's talk about another application of this outreach tool, and that is medication adherence, which is also a big portion of how a care is delivered. So in a typical scenario, the care coordinators and care managers ensure that they call their patients and ask them whether they are adhering to a particular therapy or not. But imagine the plight of care coordinators and managers if they have to individually manage so many patients. So they can use this functionality where they can basically use a decision tree framework and automate some of the aspects of care management. So we can again use the cohort builder to select a target group of patients and define the workflow to send different messages to different subgroup of patients. For instance, a care team can send an encouraging message to patients who are adhering to their treatment and probably a different mode of engagement with patients who are not compliant to their treatment plan, say a direct voicemail in this case. So far in this demo, we saw that how care coordinators can ensure patient engagement and medication adherence. Now let's see where the care manager comes into the picture to enable remote patient monitoring. So as you can see here, the care manager can go through his or her entire work list for the day and can see the action items assigned to him or her. So in this case, as we saw earlier, the Dr. William Smith activated the RPM for Joy, and that action items gets assigned to the care manager here. Now, when the care manager looks into Joy's details, that is a patient 360-degree view, we can see the entire longitudinal patient health information. So say the next step here for the care manager is to check the care protocol for Joy and do a patient assessment by asking Joy a series of questions. In this particular case, basic parameters such as inhalation quality and adherence to regular dosage are evaluated. Now, interesting thing to note here is that all these details are auto-populated here. Why? Because the data flowing from the patient companion app is integrated into the patient's record. So once we update that, the next step here, as you can see, is let's say the care manager wants to engage in a conversation with Joy and decides to call Joy. So based on the conversation, the care manager can assess whether a consultation with Dr. Smith is required or not. And let's just say for this use case, this was not required. So the care manager provides the next step in the notes section, for example, mentioning that Joy needs to improve adherence and inhalation quality and updates that information here. So this is how Innovacer can help in not just building a patient companion app, but also integrating it so well with the provider and care team workflows that it makes everyone's job easier across the care continuum.